Hey everyone, it's a four-gun guy. And today I want to thank the folks from Bullet Central for sending me ThorroClean and ThorroFlush. And it's funny because they reached out to me and they said, hey, we like your videos. We'd like you to, represent us on some things. I said, great. They said, how would you like to use ThorroClean and ThorroFlush and try it out and see if you like it? And I went, well, that's what I use. So this is a perfect fit for me. So I thought, yeah, let's start with cleaning the rim fire. And then I may do another video on center fire, or I may just talk to that today. I did one earlier, probably about a year and a half ago, but I wanted to update that anyway. So if you're ready to clean, let's get to it. Well, this is my relatively new Voodoo 360. Now, I ran a bore scope down it, and I want to show you some things off of that. It's not too awfully dirty. And to me, that's the key, right? The key is don't wait until your rifle gets too dirty. In my center fire, for example, I've started to clean about every 200 to 300 rounds. And when I say clean, I do the same thing in the rim fire as I do in my center fire. I lightly clean the barrel. I clean more heavily the chamber because, as you know, in a center fire rifle and even in these rim fires, we get that little carbon ring in there. And I want to make sure that that doesn't get out of control. So I try not to let my cleaning go for too long. But by the same token, I don't want to totally clean this barrel to where it's going to take me 20, 40, 50 rounds to get back to the speed and accuracy that I'm used to. So that's just my cleaning regimen. So what I'm going to do now is, as you can see in the video that's been running here next to me, yes, the barrel's a little dirty. It's not too bad. There's a little bit of a ring there just in front of the chamber. And so let's see if we can kind of get rid of that ring and clean the barrel up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run a patch with the ThorroFlush down there. Now, they say just run the patch down there and then move right on to the ThorroClean. I like to kind of run the ThorroFlush down there, and then I let the ThorroFlush sit a little bit longer in the chamber area, in that just where the leads are, where the lands begin. And that way it kind of helps break up that carbon a little better. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run a patch of this. I'm going to let it sit in there in the chamber, just in front of the chamber where the rifling starts. And then we'll come back and I'll run the ThorroClean then. And I'll kind of show you how I do that when I run that. Okay, well, we let the ThorroFlush sit in there for about 10 minutes or so, not much longer than that. And now I'm going to use the ThorroClean. So again, I've got a nylon brush. I'm just going to drop some of this in here, and you really want to be generous with this. Don't scrimp on this stuff, because this is really what's gonna do the cleaning. So I'm going to run it in there. I'm going to just run this down just to the end. I am going to come back through, and I'm just going to do a gentle, just doing gentle back and forth here. And I'm going to do this about, I don't know, 10 or 15 times. And then I'm going to focus on the chamber. So when I focus on the chamber, I bring this out just about to here, and then I rotate this. Now, I also have the carbon buildup on this doesn't look very bad. So I also have a cordless drill that I use, and I'll hook that into the end of this thing, and I'll run this, I'll rotate this. And I know I'm out of picture, don't worry about it. But we're gonna do this a little bit. And I like this product because I like the pastiness of it, because you can tell it's sticking in there and it's really adhering to the brush and getting everything done. Okay, so, you know, I generally do this, as I said, 10, 15 times. And I may spend a little more time on it. Like I said, this barrel wasn't super heavily dirty. And now I'm going to come back here to the chamber area, and I'm just going to focus on that. And that's really what I'm doing. I've got the bore guide for the Voodoo, so I'm not screwing anything up with that. And now I'm going to focus on here, and I think we're good. And then I'm going to push that through, and that brush looks really, really dirty. In fact, all of the stuff that was on there looks really dirty as well. So I'm going to put this on the rag. Let me get this out of here, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, we're ready for the next step. And you know, when I was running the Thoro flush through there, I meant to mention that there's a couple ways you can do this, right? You can get a jag that has the long point on it, and you can use these pellets. And I use these a lot in this rifle when it's really fouled, and I want those pellets to sit there in that area I was telling you about, right there just in front of the chamber. But for today, I'm going to use just a regular, I go like with a half of a 2-inch deal, and then I'm going to put some of this on there, and we're going to see just how dirty this thing is. I know it's pretty darn dirty, but let's see. There. Oh yeah. That's pretty bad. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's pretty fouled up. So I'm going to run a couple of these through here. I'm going to run these through until it comes out clean, and then we'll put the bore scope in there and we'll see what it looks like. If I have to reapply, then I'll reapply. I don't try to just do this all in one fell swoop. I take my time to make sure that I get that barrel and the chamber where I want it to be from a cleaning perspective. My opinion, you can go too far. I've been there, I've done that. It's taken me 50 rounds of center fire to get back where I needed to be. And even on the 22, on my old CZ, I took that thing down to the metal one time, and I regretted doing that. If yet that's how you clean, clean how you clean. I respect it, and I totally understand it. I'm just telling you that's not how I do it. Hey, and one more thing, I don't forget to clean the chamber area and the magazine well. I didn't say anything about that, but I just wanted to let you know. So what I usually do is I'll just use my rag with some of the Thoro flush, not the clean, the Thoro flush, and I'll just run it up in here, and then I'll use a larger, I've got one of those chamber cleaning kits that I'll use and run that up there with some Thoro flush on it as well. So just make sure you do that. You want that chamber to be clean. You want this area behind the chamber where your magazine's getting up in there, all that to be cleaned, and you should be good to go. All right, well, let's take a look at the before and after here, because I think it's interesting. It really did do a good job. So when let me put the two pictures of the carbon ring before and after. I'll put those up, and you can see that before, the carbon ring wasn't too bad, right? It was just getting there. And after thinking about it and everything I had done with this rifle, it's actually got about 500 rounds through it, or had 500 rounds through it before this cleaning, because I had done a video with some buddies on ammo lots. So we can see that the carbon ring's pretty much gone there. And then if we run the updated video of the barrel, let's do that, you can see this thing's really clean. I mean, I'm not going to run this whole thing, but you can see that this did a really good job. And for 500 rounds through the barrel, it shouldn't be that too dirty, but it was dirty enough. There was another thing that was interesting to me. I don't know if you noticed in the first video of inside the barrel before the cleaning, there were different colorations. And a lot of that was because During that lot testing video, we shot different types of ammo. So some was that waxy ammo, the 10X stuff. Others were the Lapua type ammo with the kind of snot on them. That's what I call it. And so I think even though we cleaned a little between those lots and testing those, I think there was still some residue that put some of that coloring on the barrel. So look, I just wanted to thank my friends at Bullet Central for sending me stuff that I already use. I was very happy they recommended this because, you know, I love to recommend products that I use, that I like, and that I trust. A couple other things, if you really want to let that Thoro flush sit in that chamber for a little bit, these are really good. This is the mop, the bore mop. Those things work really good. You just set them in there, let them sit for a little bit, and then you're good to go. Guys, I'm just telling you, this is the stuff I use. So this is an easy video for me to do and an easy product for me to promote. They did send this to me. I bought these with my own money because I've already been using them, and I really appreciate it. Well, hey, thanks again for watching, everyone. I've got a lot of other videos coming out. We're starting a 2026 PRS season, so I'm excited about that. And I'm cleaning this little baby up because I'm going to shoot a little more rimfire this year than I did last year just to have some fun. So the likes, the comments, the subs, I appreciate them all. Ask a buddy to sub if you don't mind. It really helps me. And until next time, keep that rifle clean and shoot straight.